I'm of the belief that the best thing about Pokemon is the spin-off games. I mean, the spin-off games do the Pokemon, like what Pokemon really means, better than a lot of the main series games have been doing lately. I mean, like hell, Mystery Dungeon is one of my most favorite things. That's a spin-off. As far as Pokemon Snap, I never had it myself, but I knew people with it, so I still have a chance to play it, but not really a chance to get the full experience out of it. But even so, it's a good spin-off. And I'm amazed it took more than 20 years for them to get to it. That's way too long. I mean, they could have easily made a sequel in like GameCube era, maybe like Wii if we're pushing it. They didn't even do one for Wii U. I know the Wii U didn't do that well, but like I figured the gamepad would be like they would immediately have thought of that, and they didn't for some reason. Not that I think it would have worked well with the gamepad. I mean, nobody liked the gamepad, let's be honest. But yeah, I was excited for the new Pokemon Snap, and so I got it immediately. And then other games, as I am oft afflicted by. But yeah, I finally finished it. It was good. It's I would say it's different from the first one in a few ways. For one, you have more tools at your disposal. I think the first one you only had like apples and pester balls. Pester balls are gone, but you still have the apples. They decided to not call them apples though. They're apples. Then you also have like this music thing. You have a scanner, and then you have the Lumina orbs, which is the Lumina stuff is like the big thing in this one. The first one didn't really have much of a plot. It was more like help Professor Oak take pictures of Pokemon, and then maybe take a picture of Mew eventually. And I was like, all right, cool, and that worked for the time. Now it's like some plot, but like not very complicated. Just kind of like, whoa, there's this thing going on, and the professor wants to know about it. So go off, take pictures, and that'll help us do stuff. I don't know. I don't understand how taking pictures solves anything, but it's more like he wants pictures of the Lumina Pokemon, I guess. And the plot doesn't, the plot's pretty bare bones and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but whatever. It's there. It pushes things forward, I guess. What gets me, though, is there's like a bunch of characters that are introduced that don't matter. Like you have the professor and his assistant, and it's like, okay. And then there's you. It's like, okay, cool. And then they add in two more characters. One, I think, is the kid from the first game, who you play as in the first game. Maybe? I'm not really sure. And then the other one is like his apprentice, and it's like, these two do not need to be here at all. I don't know why they're here. They don't do anything. But all right. At any rate, how does the game stack up? Well, obviously there's a lot more Pokemon now, so there's a lot more options. The first one, I mean, it was good, but you only had the first 150, so it was like, I think that's all there was. I don't remember if there was any Gen 2 Pokemon in that. I think it was just the first gen Pokemon, which was fine. I mean, it worked for the time, but now it's like the placement of some Pokemon makes a lot more sense. It's not just like, how do we squeeze as many Pokemon as we can into this area? And it's like, what kind of Pokemon would live in this environment? And let me tell you, they managed to squeeze a lot in. I don't remember how many routes the first one had. It was probably under 10. This one has at least 10. Actually, definitely more than 10. You got each level has, or each area has different levels to it. So let's say first area, you get like level 1, 2, and I think that one goes up to 3. Some of them only go up to 2, I think, but they each have route levels, or whatever. And each level changes which Pokemon you'll encounter, what those Pokemon will be doing, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it'll change where you go. It's really fascinating, actually. And I like that idea because it gives each level more replayability. Even though it doesn't always need more replayability, because there's a lot going on each route, and it's like they're not necessarily just squeezing them in either. A lot of times it's like, yeah, this would probably be how this is going, there's just so much stuff everywhere. Even on like level 1 of the first route, you'll have to go through it a few times to catch even half of everything. And even then there's sometimes the same area will have like a day and night segment or something like that. And literally, you'll just be going through levels multiple times to find as much as you want. I mean, to progress the story, you don't have to do everything, but I wanted to at least get through every level of every route at least once. And even then, there's still so much that I missed out on. I doubt I've even gotten to half of everything, and I've gone through the entire game and done every level at least once. But basically how it works is you go through the route and you find all the Pokemon that you want to take pictures of. If you can manage to take pictures of them, because some of them are squirmy. But then each Pokemon, not only do you have to take the best picture of each Pokemon, but there's different star ratings for Pokemon, like poses and stuff like that. Some Pokemon will have multiple poses in the same like star rating, but really your goal is to fill up all 4 star ratings for each Pokemon that you encounter. In addition to encountering all the Pokemon, and these Pokemon do so much. Like, again, I doubt I've even got half of everything. There's so many Pokemon where I maybe encountered them one time through the entire thing, and I only got like a 1 star, or maybe I only got like the 2 or 3 star, and I'm missing everything else. And it's like, how do I do that? And in addition to that, there are missions that you can get. I do have a problem with the missions in that once you get the mission, even if you have a picture that fits that mission, you have to do that again in order to fulfill the mission, which is annoying. I don't know if they get you anything. I think it's like a sticker or some garbage. It doesn't really matter. But, if you're a completionist, go for it. Just know that there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, the story of the game is pretty short, I guess, all things considered. It's not especially long if you just want to breeze through it. But if you want to do like I did and go through every level at least once, it'll take a good chunk of time. And then if you want to do everything, it's going to take good luck. Just good luck. As far as everything else, the quality of pictures that you can take are so much better than the first one. I mean, we've got how many console generations in between? You got GameCube, Wii U, then Switch. You got like 4 console generations. No, 3 in between the 2 games. So, I mean, obviously there's got to be a lot of improvement. Although I wouldn't necessarily say that this is where I would have expected to be. Not that it's bad. It just, I almost want to expect slightly better, but I guess it's satisfying. It's, you can take some really good pictures and they look good. I mean, they're not like especially breathtaking, but they're good, which is about what you can ask for. And then each area is filled with so much. It's really fascinating. I guess they kind of, in a sense, I guess they kind of did go above and beyond. Although there are a few things missing from this one that I'm kind of surprised weren't in there. 2 things that I know distinctly that were in... Actually, let's go 3 things that I know distinctly that were in the first one. Number 1, Pokemon that could hide themselves. And then you had to do something to make them reveal themselves. Like, I know Ghastly was just a gas ball unless you did something. I don't remember. You probably had to Pester Ball him or something. And then Magneton was the same way. Maybe Magnemite too, I don't know. All silver, and it would be like, I don't know what that Pokemon is. It's a question mark. I don't know. They didn't do that. I mean, I guess fine. I'm not complaining too much about that because it was just like another obstacle in the way of taking pictures. But then there were also some Pokemon that could evolve if you did the right thing. I know if you push Charmander in the lava, or Charmeleon in the lava, it evolves into a Charizard. I don't remember if there was anything else. I remember that one distinctly though. But I don't think they have anything like that, unless it's hidden somewhere. But there's not so much of it, if there is any. And then no Pokemon eggs. I think in the original one they had like 3 legendary eggs that if you did the right thing you could hatch them. Speaking of, there's not as many legendaries as I would have thought. I think there might only be 1 in the entire game, which, you know, as you might surmise, is like the last boss. But aside from that, there's like nothing. You would think that like, oh, I mean, this is new Pokemon Snap. It's got new stuff in it. Like, why wouldn't they have more legendary Pokemon? There's so many now. There's just like none. There's none in the whole game except for the last boss, as far as I know. So it's just kind of like, huh. All right. Kind of dropped the ball a little there, but you know, the rest is fine otherwise. I did really enjoy it, so I mean, I'm not complaining too much. Just like, man, that would have been cool if they'd actually done that. Now, as I said, there are bosses. Kind of like how Mew was the boss in the first one, but I'm pretty sure Mew was the only boss in the whole game. There are like a few bosses called the Lumina Pokemon are the bosses, which is the whole like thing you're researching, whatever. And each one has this gimmick that pretty much just involves throwing stuff at them. So it's not all that complicated. Most of the time you just throw apples at it, and then you throw the light balls at it. And it's just like, okay, cool. So like the moment-to-moment stuff is, you know, way better. But I would say those big moments are not quite as fulfilling, maybe. I mean, the limited Pokemon are kind of like fun to encounter, but I don't know. I didn't feel much for it. But the regular levels are just packed to the brim with stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. So overall, it was good. There's a lot to experience in this game. It's beautiful. Not quite as beautiful as I would have hoped, but still beautiful. I mean, it's a worthy successor, I would say. And yeah, thanks for listening. Push all the buttons, and I hope you have a great day.